CNBC Africa's Thomas Murray caught up with Brian Simmons. He's the founder of Ghanaian telecom company M-pedigree.
There are two broad focuses. One is enterprise level, which is how do we use mobile innovation to make businesses in Africa more competitive. The other, which tends to get all the attention, is the consumer dimension of it, which is how are Africans' lives being improved by the ability to access new technologies. M-pedigree, on the other hand, combines both of them. We provide services to companies, particularly pharmaceutical companies, and other producers of fast-moving consumer goods. But we also provide a service to the consumer, the patient, so they can detect whether the medicine they bought is good or not. So what we've got to do in Africa is to understand that these two broad focuses do not always have the same ingredients. What companies in Africa want and what consumers want are not necessarily always going to be served by the same paradigm. And that's what I think is missing now from the mobile conversation in Africa.
Brian, tell us now about what M-pedigree is as a service. How does it work?
So what you're looking at is a label. Now, this label can go on any product, really. When the consumer picks up the product in the shop, they can scratch this panel here. A number will be revealed, which is a code that is unique to that single pack they have in their hand. When they send it in an SMS, which is free to them, they get in about 2 seconds a response confirming that that product is genuine. So this has applications in medicines, in agrochemicals, in cosmetics, and even in fashion. Why? Because we've seen a huge wave of counterfeiting flooding South Asia and Africa, where in the case of medicines, up to 1 in 4 medicines in some instances are counterfeit. Meaning you can pick up something thinking it's going to do you good, but it ends up harming you because what is in that medicine or in that chemical you're using on your body is actually quite dangerous.
Now, this is critical for Africa given disease across the continent. Let's touch on the critical aspect of mobile penetration in Africa, then coupling it with this M-pedigree service. And what do you see going forward as the growth of mobile in Africa?
One interesting trend is that we are obviously seeing mass access, which means that almost everybody has access to a phone. They may not own it, but they can get to a phone when they want one. In Ghana, we're already more than 100% penetration. Of course, there are people with multiple phones, so that means that effectively the rate is maybe 70%. But we're getting to the point where in a few years, everybody will have a phone. Now, will they have a phone that can do everything? Maybe not, because the trend towards smartphones have not been as dramatic. But they do have a phone that can do the basics. So most technologies like M-pedigree, you can see down here, is covered, but actually it's a data matrix that allows you to use a smartphone. Up here, you can use a dumb phone. So most services are combining capabilities, ensuring that everybody, from the middle class people to the people on the streets who cannot afford complex phones, can use services. And that is a major dynamic. The other dynamic is, of course, that we're also moving towards the internet, mobile broadband. In Ghana, for instance, we're getting to a point where maybe a quarter of the people have access to the mobile internet. That is dramatic because most services that are currently delivered offline will move online. It started with services like, for instance, a visa application to travel out of Africa. Most people now have to go online because major embassies in the world are requiring Africans to go online. So there are all sorts of impulses towards the mobile broadband phenomenon, and I think that will be dramatic.